So tell me a bit about you, Jasmine. Where'd you grow up?
Well, I sort of grew up all over the place. My mom worked for the United Nations,
Oh,
so
wow.
I grew up traveling around a lot. I didn't spend more than a couple of years in the same place. So some of the places I've been very privileged to call home are Australia, India, Italy, the US, and the United Kingdom.
Wow, that's great. And so you've got a global perspective for the start, right?
Yes, well, I think we live in an increasingly globalized world, and especially with online marketing, it's almost very narrow-sighted to only pick one jurisdiction.
Yeah. So you went to high school in the United States?
Yes, I went to boarding school in Connecticut. I went to Hotchkiss. It was a excellent experience. I really liked being able to live independently at such a young age, and it really was a incredible educational experience. Very novel too.
So
Not
after
very
going
yes.
to a school like that, was there a lot of people from around the world that you
Yeah,
go to school? So,
absolutely. That was one of the favorite things of being there was I was just among peers who were from around the world, and I think that does give you a really interesting perspective on life.
so after that, you decided to go to college. Where did you
Yeah.
decide to go?
So I decided I wanted to go to university in England.
Which
I
is
knew I
different,
wanted
right?
it is different, yeah. I knew I wanted to be a lawyer.
Uh,
I think I was one of 2 people in my class who ended up in England for
okay.
college, and I knew I wanted to be a lawyer. England offers this path where you can just do a LLB, so a bachelor's of law as an undergraduate.
Okay.
And so for me, that was cutting out
Why did you know you wanted to be a
university.
lawyer? What inspired you?
I think I've always had a passion for debate and problem solving and public speaking, and that really goes hand in hand with lawyering.
And how was that? Like going to law school in England and being an American, I guess, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it was a really great experience. I
Yeah.
think everyone there was kind of surprised that I wasn't necessarily planning on either staying or going back. I was just there to experience it for what it was.
Yeah.
It is a different learning experience than the US. It is very independent. There's not very much hand holding. And I think if I had known at least what the exams were like, I might have rethought the process.
Really? What way
Yeah.
the exams like?
So they were 3-hour handwritten exams
Oh my goodness.
for each subject, and my 1 grade for the entire year was determined by 1 exam.
Really? Oh
So
my gosh.
it was
You
definitely
hated that, yes.
very, very high pressure, very analog situation.
Yeah.
So I think if I'd known, maybe I would have thought twice, but it was character building. I'll say that.
Nice. And so you graduated law school and then you knew you were coming back to America or
Well, I actually wasn't positive. I graduated in June 2020, so
right? COVID time?
there were relatively limited options in terms of what to do next.
Yeah, yeah.
So I wasn't sure I wanted to stay in the UK. I wasn't even sure how that would work because a lot of the firms weren't hiring.
Yeah.
So I ended up deciding I'm going to take the New York bar exam. And while I was at Bristol, I learned about Barbary, which actually was promoting this course for people doing an LLB to be able to sit the New York bar exam.
Oh, nice.
And I thought it was a great opportunity. I asked them if I could do the course for free in exchange for some marketing, and they said
Really?
yes.
Oh, wow.
So it's
Great.
yeah,
Oh,
I
it's a
ended up
good,
doing that.
that's a good win.
And while I was studying for the course, I decided I also wanted to do a master's, and so I ended up doing an IP LLM, which
In
was
England.
in New York,
In New
actually.
York City.
So
Okay.
I ended up going to Fordham and doing a master's of law in intellectual property and information technology.
Why intellectual property?
I've always loved innovation. I've always loved IP. Brands have been so integral to me. I've grown up in some of the fashion capitals of the world, and
Yeah.
so being able to see that especially was very interesting. And I've always loved the protection of just intellectual thoughts and creations, and I like how IP goes hand in hand with innovation, and
Wow.
it's very future forward. And it's an industry that feels safe and exciting at the same time. I don't think a lot of law is like that.
Yeah.
Protect your brand with Trademarkia. Register your trademark on trademarkia.com.